y'all. Welcome to the Radiance Effect podcast, where the goal is to help you shine from the inside out. I'm your host, Brittany Janelle. Let's get into it. Okay, you guys. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm about to cry. And as y'all been listening to me, y'all already know I'm criers. And the reason being is because this is the last episode of season 2. And it's crazy. And in honor of Mother's Day, the title and theme of this episode is called Radiant Mothers. And I have the opportunity to interview 2 beautiful women who just happen to be my friends.
Yes, girl, we love you.
So just to introduce you to the crowd, I want you to say your name, of course, how many children you have. And I also want you to answer this. If you could use one word to describe what motherhood means to you, what would it be? So name, how many children, and if you could use one word to describe what motherhood means to you.
Okay.
I don't know who want to go first. Don't y'all fight at once.
Let me go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Anissa. If we're getting real formal, Brooks Taylor. I have 10 kids. I'm just kidding. I have 2. I have 2 kids. I have 2 boys, Levi and Braxton. They're 4 and 2. I love being a boy mom. The word that would describe motherhood to me, it's got to be, this sounds so simple, but everything. Like it's truly everything to me. And it'll make more sense as we talk, but it's everything.
I know that just gave me like a little shiver.
Yeah.
Because I felt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
my name is Jessica. I have one son, Jackson. Actually, Antoine Jackson, but we call him Jackson. He is 2 years old. He'll be 3 this year. And to describe in one word what motherhood means to me is, so many things came to my mind. First, it was like perseverance, and then duty. Like, I don't play when it comes to motherhood. Like, I don't play any game. So, duty and, yeah, I think that's, I don't know, would that be a good description?
Honey, it's your truth.
Yeah.
I love that. It's interesting. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot from y'all. So, y'all may not know this, but I am a mother as well. Well, I'm a dog mom. It might be a little different, but I don't actually have human children. So, I'm excited to learn from these women. Shout out to you, baby girl. All right. So let's go ahead and warm up the floor a little bit. I know we already vibing, but just so the audience can get to know you a little bit better, I have this activity called Finish the Sentence, okay? So I'm just going to ask you a question, and I want you to finish the sentence, okay?
Okay.
And feel free, like, if you want to, like, ping off of what somebody else said, don't hesitate to do that, okay?
Okay.
So question number 1. I knew I was officially a mom when...
Girl... when the baby actually came and I was like, oh, I can't take him back to the hospital. I'm somebody's mama, for real. I guess being pregnant, you already kind of get immersed in motherhood. Your body is growing as baby. You build and you feel the first flutters and you connecting with them and you talking to them, although you don't know if they hear you or not. But, you already have building this relationship with them. And then when they come or when they birth, and then, them first couple of days, like, oh, damn, I can't take this baby back. Right. I'm really somebody's mama.
Here we are.
In it now.
I will never. It's forever. It ain't no return receipt at Walmart, nothing like that. Return to sender, no. You stuck with that baby. That's your baby. So, yeah, like, I probably like the first good week. Because I had Jackson as via C-section, and then I still was like recovering. So I didn't really connect with him as much when he first was born. Like, he was cut out of me and gave straight to his daddy. And then I really wasn't in the space to really like enjoy and have him on my chest. And I felt some kind of way about it too for a long time, not being able to
bond and connect.
Yeah, and then not giving birth vaginally like I thought. Like, I just knew I was gonna birth him like vaginally, not I prepared, did the classes, did all the things, and baby had a whole C-section. But it probably was the best, but I didn't really connect with him after that C-section because he went straight to his daddy, and I was like still on medication and stuff, and I couldn't really hold him and build that with him. But that when we went home,
you're like,
in that first week, oh yeah,
I'm the mom.
I'm the mama.
I'm the mama. I love that. What about your girl?
Actually much earlier for me. When I first heard, okay, so for context, I've been pregnant 3 times. I miscarried my first time, which is, it's okay. I've been through the journey and done all the healing. It's actually very common. And if you guys want to talk about that, we can. But even when I heard the heartbeat of my first pregnancy, I was like, oh, I'm in it. Like the heartbeat really set it for me. And I miscarried very early. And it's very common when you miscarry that you get pregnant again very quick. And so I got pregnant again very quick. And then so I got to hear a heartbeat pretty close, right? A couple months later. So the heartbeat set it in for me for some reason, and like the ultrasound. And then it really set in like when I started feeling like you see your bump, but like the kick.
Yeah.
And like when they're like moving and grooving in there, girl, like rolling on your belly. I'm like I'm in protection mode and they're still in my stomach. So yeah, very early for me, I knew. But I also like when I was young, I very much so knew I wanted to have kids. I knew I wanted to have a lot of kids, which I'm done by the way. But back then, I just knew that I was gonna love that feeling and feel connected pretty early. Now it could have not happened that way.
Yeah.
To her point, but it did. And once I started feeling those things, I was doubted. Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like this is gonna get deep. Even what you just said now. We're gonna dive deeper in the next section, but let me go ahead and move to the next icebreaker.
Scoop your own. Go
girl. We gonna go there. We gonna go there.
And then the thing, me and Anissa have like a connection.
Oh my God, our babies are born on the same day.
Our babies are born on the same day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Braxton and
Jackson.
Boy, mom.
Completely different personalities.
Yeah.
But we have like a deeper connection.
Yeah.
We didn't even know we gave birth on the same day till like later, like months later, until we actually like really got together and connected. And it was just like, oh girl, this your child. Jackson is yours, Braxton is mine in a sense. Yeah.
Wow. And your kids are very different personalities too, so that's interesting.
Oh yeah. There's a lot fundamentally that they're similar about, but to like their core, no, they're very different kids. But I'm actually happy about it. It brings excitement to know that my kids are same but vastly different for sure.
I love it. Sure. All right, next question. The one thing no one warned me about motherhood, because I be hearing some things. So let's get your perspective.
There's so many things I can say. So in the beginning, they talk about, oh, you gotta train your baby. You gotta train your baby to sleep. Let me tell y'all something. That baby gonna train you to sleep. I've never been a morning person. I've always slept till like 12, 11 o'clock. Now I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like my body instantly just naturally wake up. It's never been the case. So like the older women or my mama, oh, you gotta train your baby. You gotta train your baby to sleep so you get sleep. You gotta sleep when the baby sleep. How? How? While you're running on fumes, literally fumes, and also you gotta feed the baby. The baby wakes up every 2 hours, and then not only that, is like, when are you gonna have time to get the stuff done around the house with the laundry, the pumping, the just taking a damn bath, washing your ass.
Yeah.
You don't
a lot of snow days. Man.
And
then Brittany, be prepared, girl.
You don't man, that baby gonna train you. So you on that baby schedule. When that baby wake up crying, get up and get that bottle.
Yeah.
Wow. And I used to tell my mama, I think you forgot. Like, she had 3 kids, but I'm like, I think you forgot when you had a newborn and how it was, because they say train that baby. To this day, Jackson still sleep. He's still close. What is the word? Co-sleep with me.
Okay.
He's at times he still gets up in the middle of the night and they looking for their bottle. They looking for that comfort. They looking for mommy. Where is mommy? So yeah, they say train the baby, but the baby train you.
Girl, that's interesting. Cause I'm a sleepy girl, and I just be like, "Oh, baby, that's the one thing I be hearing going like the window."
What's interesting? Okay, say your question again, because I feel like where your question took me is also in relation to her question. So say it one more time.
So the one thing no one warned me about motherhood is.
Okay, so I feel like, and this I'm very much so. I believe only certain things in life are truly black and white. And I feel like a lot of people may give you advice, it may give you perspective from a very black and white standpoint. And I think a lot of people fail. One, motherhood goes so fast that it makes sense why your mom, your grandmother, your aunts forgot about the beginning stages, because you're in such a like trance that like if it wasn't for technology and all the pictures in my phone, there's so many days I don't remember, so many things I don't remember. So like you already got to take advice with a grain of salt. But I think the biggest part is that, and I have 2 kids, she only has 1, so I'm speaking from my perspective, is that your kids could be wildly different. Your experience could be so different from the next person that it honestly only makes sense to take so much advice. And you shouldn't let so many people into your circle because they just don't know what they don't. I'm not in your house with a camera spying on you day in and day out to be able to tell you what you should do. Because my first son, we slept together all the time, right? Like to your point. And I knew consciously I may have been creating a bad habit, but that's my baby and I want him to sleep with me. My second son was very different. He was forced to kind of figure it out because I had 2 C-sections like she did. My first one was a emergency C-section, unexpectedly. And my second one was a scheduled one. So a lot less traumatic, a lot less whatever, which was not what I wanted to do. It's just what happened. But my 4-year-old was 1 when I had my newborn, right? So I have him, I got a newborn in my face, I got a dog in my face, my husband's back to work. He had to figure out how to sleep because I still had a baby on me and I'm still covering from a C-section. So their sleep patterns are vastly different. Can't nobody tell me. You just get into that and you just figure it out.
Man.
Yeah. So like, I think the biggest thing that nobody prepares you for is just that the journey could be so different every day that nobody preps you on how you should be easy on yourself, how much grace you should give yourself, how much respect you should give yourself from the fact that even when they're cut out of you, my kids are put right on top of my chest because they could be, and I'm cut open. They're stitching me up. You see, and then you're just in this situation. Nobody prepares you for the immediate transition to, well, now this baby is here and it's crying on me. So I think it's like the lack of grace and the lack of like giving yourself time back to work on your mind, the self piece. Nobody prepares you on how to do that. Everybody wants to tell you about, oh, you're not gonna sleep, you're gonna lose sleep, oh my god, that baby's gonna cry, oh my god, the baby's gonna poop in the bath. Yeah, no shit.
Right.
It's a freaking baby. Yeah. Why don't you be a little bit more optimistic and like tell me how you got your mind straight, how you got the guilt to go away about going to the gym, how you didn't let that little cold make you feel like you had to rush to the doctor. Like, how did you become normal again? Nobody talks about that. Nobody prepares you for that. That's where my
girl. Okay,
it's layers.
Listen,
it's layers.
Yeah, and I have. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, to add on, every child is different. Every pregnancy is different. A lot of times, everybody give their advice about, well, this happened to me and this gonna happen to you. No, it's not. Everybody, maybe not. Yeah. Everybody's situation is different, and a lot of times people tend to give unsolicited advice, but you're not even giving me the steps to what that looks like. Like I said with my mama, you got to train your baby to sleep. How?
Yeah, they're just talking. A lot of people just talking.
Right.
Another thing they didn't say, well, I don't know if Anissa experienced this, but like now I'm learning about healing your core. Like the doctors don't talk about after you, right. After you give birth or after you get a C-section, that you not gonna be leveled anymore. You gotta heal it. Like, you could go ahead on the workout, but we're not discussing the arterial tilt.
Yeah.
Where your bones are tilted because you've been pushed out for so long. Or they don't talk about how, you gotta do these different exercises and breathing so your core can be stronger now. And I'm picking up a 8-pound, 10-pound, 30-pound little baby now, and I gotta figure out how am I gonna be strong enough to not just day-to-day life, but also be dealing with this baby, this child.
That's so interesting because I've been seeing it on social media lately. A lot of women talking about, I'm preparing my body for pregnancy. And I didn't really know what that meant. But just relating to your example, though, like having a strong core and like all those different things. But I didn't think about like the aftermath of what your body truly goes through.
It's a drastic change. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even do lunges and squats the same no more. Like I literally have to focus and be like, okay, I gotta breathe in, tighten your core.
Yeah.
Focus. Focus.
Bring it together.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, you know what's crazy is this was just an icebreaker.
Oh,
girl,
I'm like, I ain't really asked y'all nothing for real, but I love it.
Well,
I love
that gives you some context.
Yes, yes. And I hope the audience is feeling all this energy because I'm just having such a great time right now. And just to get into the main portion, which is called Let's Get Into It. So let me tell y'all how I came about a lot of these questions. So I actually talked to my mom and I was like, girl, obviously, you know, I'm not a human mom, we'll say that, right? But like, what are some of the things that moms work through and they struggle with or whatever it may be? And we came up with 4 different sections, okay? The first one is identity and self.
Love that.
The second one is work-life balance.
Okay.
The next one is worries, fears, and growth. And the last category is parenting and raising kids, which obviously, you know, we'll just work through, okay? So the last episode that I just did was talking about the beauty within. So I really want to focus on that and expand on it from a mother's standpoint.
Okay.
So from the first question, how did becoming a mom change how you see yourself?
I just posted this yesterday. Like, becoming a mom, I thought I was already a badass. Baby, you really can't tell me
Look
nothing.
at me now.
Yeah. Like, you can't tell me nothing when it comes to being a woman. Like, I think, and that's part I hate to say, like, becoming a mother, it even solidifies, like, your womanhood. But becoming a mom is just, like, I have done things that I never thought I could do. Like days where I thought I could not make it. Like days where I'm running on E. Days that, okay, I'm going to work. I got to cook dinner. I got to feed the baby. I got to pack the clothes. How am I going to do all this? And I push through and I do
Get it done.
And get it done. Like when I say I ain't no morning person, but getting up 5 o'clock in the morning and running it, like, and now that, you know, I'm co-parenting with my son's father, but I did it on my own for a while, still doing it on my own. Well, it's just me and him. So it has pushed the bounds of what I think who I am. Like, I can do anything.
You know, that's so interesting because, like, I admire mothers in general, but especially single moms. And to get up every day and to just go out and just get it, right? And to not always have someone to depend on. So, girl, I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, yeah, don't kill you, make it stronger.
That's it. You say, I'm still out here moving.
Yes, indeed.
So I'll ask you again, girl. So it says, how did becoming a mom change how you see yourself?
I don't think it changed me. I think it enlightened things and lit things that were already there in me. For example, I've always played like the protector role. Like I'm naturally a protector. I don't like to see people be messed with. I don't like to see people down. I don't like to see people mistreated. I don't like to see people be down on themselves, right? Like I have a sense of like, I want you to be taken care of and be protected. And I was already like that. But once I had kids, the level of like, no, I got you. Like that went like through the roof, where it would like truly, it didn't consume me in like a bad way, but it consumed me in a sense of like, I'm a talker, you know, I'm extremely social.
Never
Don't get it twisted,
girl.
But my head is always on a swivel. I'm very aware of what's going on. I always know what's around me. My intuition is very strong. Like I feel like I'm a good people reader. And thank God, because that level of like, I'm a protector has, I feel like, saved me and my child in a lot of instances and just like social experiences that I've had. And the way that maybe it's changed me in a sense is that it's made me reflect on the way I delivered as a protector, because you can be a protector and still enable somebody. And that's what I used to do, protect and enable. And now I'm more so where I want to protect you and help you protect yourself, help you learn, give you the skills to, if you were in a situation and you're not with me, you know how to get out of it or protect yourself or have the confidence to say, not me, not today.
Yeah.
And so that part, it made a little change there. So the protection piece, I definitely think was big for me. And then the way that I see my purpose in life has changed for me. Not like a 180, but I remember my mom is wonderful. We've had a lot of ups and downs, and We've fallen out more in my adult life than my childhood, but I remember being very close to my mother growing up, and she took a lot of time off of work. She stayed home with us, a very honorable thing that she did. And she's never said this aloud, but I always wondered if she truly went after what she wanted in life. And if she had the self-fulfillment of like, I did what I wanted to do, what I dreamt of. And I don't think that she did. I don't think she'll talk about it, but I don't think that she did. And so I'm so hyper aware of how I make myself happy and the things that I do, because your kids only know what you show them. And I feel like my purpose is they didn't ask to be here, but to give them the experiences and the perspective to say, you get one life, and if you do it right, one's enough. Right. And so if I could give them the tools to go after what they want to, because they say, well, my mom did it, well, my dad did it, then I think that I won in life, whatever that means to them. So I think my hyperness of like how I move, what I do, why I do it is game changer since having kids versus when I did.
So you just said something that was really powerful as you were speaking about purpose, right? I even think about my own mom, and she had all these aspirations of what she wanted to do. And then she's told me so many times, you know, you have children and then your priorities shift, right? Which I still understand is true. Yeah. But how do you find that you're able to still push through and say, despite what you just communicated as far as like being an example, but still wanting to pursue your purpose and not making everything be solely about children?
Yeah. I think for me, it's that the guilt is temporary, and the joy that you get out of going after what you want can be sustained long term if your focus and your purpose is clear. I spent 10 years in the staffing industry, the back half of that, and the learning and development side of things. I traveled once a month for a week. And I traveled while I was pregnant, once I had kids, and so on and so through. But that's all they know. Yeah. And I remember my first trip away from my son, like I was on the plane, like freaking out. Like, man, I'm leaving my kid. My kid is 4 months old. Yeah. And my husband's amazing, by the way. My husband also travels. So this lifestyle has been very normal for us. But I just remember that guilt, like being on the plane of like leaving Levi, like my oldest. And then it slowly went away. And I got to, where I was at. I'm setting up my training, and I got into the other mode, which is I'm about to deliver in this training for 2.5 days. And then it started to become euphoric, where it was like a reset for me. And it made me excited to go back home, and I had a lot more clarity. So I think for me, it was that the guilt is temporary. Eventually it becomes your new norm, this rhythm that you're in, this process that you're in. And that's how it felt for me. And also it went from my son being like, where's my mom, to he was excited to see what I was doing. And we started communicating very early why, even though he's 6 months old, why I'm doing this, where I'm going. Early and often is my motto. Early and often. So the guilt is going to go away. I think it's disrespectful to yourself to not live a life that you once dreamed of because you have kids. If I'm being harsh, but postpartum depression, certain things are going to stump you. It is hard, very hard. But one day you do have to wake up and say, I was put on this earth for a reason. Don't disrespect yourself by not doing what you're capable of, because there's no limit. So your kids only know what you show them. It's only normal. What you show them is normal. What we do isn't normal to my kids.
Well, let's dive a little bit deeper, just because you were talking about the postpartum depression, and I hear how common that is. Like, if that's something, if y'all feel open to share, like that y'all have experienced, and if so, how did y'all work through that?
I'm gonna go quick, and because I'm gonna be honest, I can't say I had it. I can't, and maybe I lucked out like that. For context, I had very pleasant pregnancies. I craved a freaking Caesar salad. Like, thank you guys. Like, I wasn't out here like vibing out with like, I'm not gonna lie, I do love Subway. Judge me if you want to. But Italian BME toasted. Don't play with me.
That's my meal.
So like, yeah, I like all that. But I was craving Caesar salad. Like, I had very pleasant pregnancy, no morning sickness, never threw up. I was traveling. I don't need liquor to have a good time. I mean, I had great pregnancies, traumatic births, which I wasn't prepared for. But even after I had kids, I don't know. I remember having very hard days. I remember days where maybe I felt like I was out of it, or like I was zoned in. I do recall sitting in my closet a couple times, just like trying to process. But I can't really say I had like true postpartum depression. I think I was just working through getting normal, because I know people that did have it. Yeah. And I truly, oh my gosh, bless their hearts. But I genuinely feel like mentally, I feel like I bounced back pretty quick. Personally, that's why I went quick. I don't know if you have a different.
I think mine's, if I had it, it was just, let me say this. So to kind of piggyback off the purpose, you know, I initially was an entrepreneur. I was esthetician, makeup artist. I worked all the way up in my pregnancy till I was like 8 months. Doing weddings, all those things, all the good things in regards to being like a business owner and a service provider. But like the postpartum depression, it did kind of creep up a little bit on me because you get a shift in identity change.
Yes, that's very true.
Once this baddie, this go-getter, this hustler, this, you know, baby, I'm outside, I'm in the streets, got a house or whatever, got this business blooming, I'm traveling, doing all these things, and then I got pregnant, baby, set me down. Like I still was doing, but like once I gave birth, everything changed. Now don't get me wrong, like I was happy that I was able to pour into my son. Like that was like my number one, he's my number one priority. So like pouring into him, raising him, caring for him, being his caretaker was like the most important thing to me. But I also had to put my esthetician to the side. I had to put my makeup artistry to the side. And, you know, you looking in that mirror, you ain't looking the same. And it's just kind of like, who am I? So,
identity crisis.
Like, identity crisis, where it's just like, I'm not feeling such a being like, you know, the Jessica or the Juicy J or the J that I once knew.
Juicy J.
Nah, I'm Jackson Mama. Wow. Which, you know, you know, you never, like Anissa was saying, you know, you do yourself a disservice if you don't keep going after your dreams. But you also have to accept, well, what if my dreams shift? What if my purpose is to raise my son to be a good human being, to replace a lot of y'all?
Listen, we know they out here in the
You know what I'm saying? What is my duty to raise a good man? And pour into him integrity and honesty and trustworthiness, and also know that your mama a hustler too. Like that's what I also want him to see, but I also don't want, you know, him to forget like my mama is soft and she's a woman. But I never dealt with like too much of like postpartum. It just more so was like the shift of the Jessica before, the Jessica afterwards.
Trying to figure it out.
And trying to figure out this new norm. And then I also like hear stories of like a lot of times the women that deal with more so postpartum, I don't want to speak for them, but just from what I see, research is more so like if you don't have a supportive partner. And I didn't deal with that for a time. Like when Jackson was first born, his dad was very much present. The only thing I used to get upset about is that, you know, I wanted to go to the store.
That's a valid thing to get upset about. After you have kids, so valid. Like, so valid. Like I'm trying to put my top down in my car and like vibe out to the grocery store for 10 minutes.
Look, I was so happy to go to Target by myself. Like
that was slow as shit up and down the mile.
Baby. With my Starbucks, and I'm like, I'm free. I'm free to just like worry and concern about Jessica and not somebody else. Now, of course, I'm rushing back like, what my baby doing? What's going on? But you know, just to have that freedom, just to go to the damn store, like it's a breath of fresh air from being cooped up in the house for 3 months, 6 weeks at a time, whatever. You know, being this source of this source to your child, or not source, what I'm saying, like resource, or feeding them. Your body is feeding them, you're feeding them, you're caring for them, their livelihood. You know, just to have that break. That's the only time I used to feel away, is like, you get to go to the store. You getting up and leaving and going places, and I'm here stuck in this house.
With the baby.
I think a lot of women can relate to the envy creeping in. Postpartum depression is extremely common. And if you're experiencing it, I would say go get the help and try to find your voice to be vocal, because it's not something that you can control. So I'm humble and grateful enough that I did not, but I'm very self-aware enough to know that has to be extremely hard. But I would also think that a lot of women can relate to the envy that creeps in, like those self-stories that you make up about, oh, well, you know, he's doing this, or you know, the envy is like a thing you got to be hyper aware of, for sure.
You know, when you mentioned about like the envy, or even your example with the store, my mom used to always say, boo, when you have kids, you can't just get up and go to the store like you want to. And I never really understood what that meant in the moment.
I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I have a different perspective on that. Yes and no. Yes and no.
I guess it just depends on like the upbringing, your partner and stuff like that.
When you're a single mom, no, you just can't get up and go to the store.
No, not when you know. Not in your situation.
But when you have a husband or a partner, then yes, you can just be like, all right, I'll be right back. I'm going to the store. No, I can't.
See, that's the difference. Is that women guilt themselves so bad and you feel like you have to be there 24/7 every second day all the time that you don't give yourself permission to just do what a man typically does, which is, hey, I'm going to Lowe's, hey, I'm going to the gym, hey, I'm going to do this, or hey, I'm going to do that, because they don't have that chemical. They love their kids deeply. My husband loves our boys and my boys love them, but it's just something about the chemical connection, the emotional connection of carrying it's just the way your brain works as a mom is very different. And so I do believe in assumed constraints. I believe we tell ourselves that things are not possible more than we say that they are possible. And then you start to make up these stories in your head and you start to believe them things that, man, if I tell him I'm going to go to the store, he's going to say, well, why do you got to go to the store? Let me go for you. And he's not going to understand why 10 minutes to myself means the world to me. And it's like, well, did he ever say that? And don't get me wrong, there are men. I know there's married women that feel like they're single women in a marriage. Leave them. I don't know. That's my best bet. If you can't set yourself up to get out of there, what is he around for? But if you have a supportive partner and a good man who maybe just doesn't understand all the way, did he ever tell you that you couldn't? And you got free will? Tell the motherfucker you're going to the damn store. The guilt's going to go away in about 2 minutes. So I think we have conditioned women to believe that you can't go do those things, but that's an assumed constraint. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You're going to might feel bad about it, but you can go to the damn store. And again, once you do it, then it becomes the norm. I don't ask my husband for permission to go to the gym. I used to. I used to ask Sean, hey, are you good with me going to the gym right now? He never asked me. So then in my head one day, I said, why am I asking him if I can go? What the fuck? So then I would say, hey, Sean, I'm going to the gym right now. And I'm going, our whole garage is a gym. Then I would say, hey, I'm going in the garage or I'm getting in my car
and I'm out.
I'm driving to the gym because I want to. So I just really think people got to be very clear on if you have assumed constraints in the storytelling or are these real conversations and real roadblocks that you're experiencing in motherhood. Those are two very different things.
That's really good. And I just love what y'all are doing right now when it comes to like empowering women, because even when I was just talking about my mom, I feel like it's very different in today's stage in comparison to how things were 30 and 40 years ago and how things like the assumptions.
Different. Our moms, bless their hearts.
I don't know if I would have made it in that generation.
Girl. Honestly, they're really stronger than us. Shout out to the moms.
Shout out to y'all. We appreciate
shout out to Brittany's mom. Shout out to her mom. Y'all was really the strong
man.
My really mama even discussed that. Like, we've had a conversation about getting up, going to the store, or going to the gym, and she was like, "Girl, your daddy just was like, them your kids. Like, that's the kind of mindset that he had. Like, I'm babysitting. Like, no, you're not babysitting.
That's
you're
how
getting your son. You're getting your child. You're getting your kids. And I think and also being in a co-parenting relationship, that comes about a lot as well, where when you're the primary parent, you tend to take on the most, but like that person or the other parent get to kind of pop in and when they want to. They don't have the same constraints where they can just get up and go to the gym. For me, I gotta be like, I gotta ask my mom, hey, can you watch Jack so I go to the gym, or pay for child care at the gym? Like, for me to just work out and just pour into myself, or me to go take a run, like I gotta take Jackson with me. He in the stroller with me. So, or go to the store. Like, going to the store, hey, if I gotta bring him, cool, but I might forget something. Because I'm dealing with the putting you in the car, taking all you the out, looking around, watching my surroundings. You having a meltdown. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you just zoop, 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 get in, get out. Now I got it's a whole event. When I gotta go
That's
to
a great word.
Bring
bless your heart, Jessica, by the way. You're one of the strongest women I know. Like, to do what you're doing, like co-parenting, but pretty much being the default parent and like handling everything. You definitely deserve your flowers.
And always with a good attitude too. Like, your heart is just there. So that's one thing I always feel with you, your energy. So, girl, keep it up. Just know you're doing great.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
What do the young say? clocking, whatever. I don't know. I don't got nails to make the sound and shit. But whatever she said.
We close.
Yeah. It's nice to be seen. Yes. Like, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Okay, I want some advice, all right? Just because y'all was diving deep. And me being a single woman, no children, y'all talked about a lot when it comes to balancing, right? Especially when you have your career aspirations and then you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're going to the gym, and then you think about friendships and relationships and trying to pour into those. Like, how do y'all juggle that? Because I be struggling, y'all. I be tired. I'm like, I can barely manage this, and then you add in kids. So how do you juggle it?
Say no. Say no to stuff that doesn't serve you. Don't feel bad about it. And like know that it's gonna be ebb and flows. Like, I love to cook. I don't cook every day. The best thing I ever did was buy Sean a Traeger so he can smoke meat and like cook shit. Sean probably cooks more than I do, if I'm being transparent. But I do love to cook, and I used to guilt myself about not cooking all the time. And I do love the gym. I'm a gym girly. But I have the most consistent personality. Like, I can fall off really hard and then get back on really hard and like go crazy. And I just think I had to recognize about myself, like, where my strengths are and maybe where my areas of, I don't know, opportunity are. And as somebody who's done, learning and development or coaching work, I do agree with the experts when they say you should lean into your strengths and stop trying to fix so much.
Yeah.
What you're really good at, you should lean into that. And so for me, I just feel like I'm really good at prioritizing. I'm really good at decision making. I'm really good at qualifying what's urgent and important versus one or the other. And if it's not urgent and important, I'm not doing it, because some things are urgent. It's like that radical monkey that's going off in your head banging shit. That's a distractor to me. Right. And I think that one of the best things you could do for yourself in motherhood is before you become a mother, if you can, and I think you can contest to this, do your self-work. Stop running from what's hard. Stop running from your trauma. Stop running from what's toxic. And if you're going to fall down early so you can get back up. Because I think one of the things that's allowed me to be able to feel confident and feel like I'm in self-control is I did the down phases early. Honestly, by force. I wasn't ready for it, but it just hit me really hard. 2017 were really hard years for me. The depression kicked in, the suicide kicked in, not feeling like myself kicked in, not knowing what I was doing. That was early. And I embraced it. And there's a difference between saying, I came out of that, and saying I came out of that knowing what triggers me and why it triggers me, and knowing when I'm good, why I'm good, what is causing it. And I think if you can do the self-work early, because being a mom is so wonky to your brain, if you can pick up on your triggers and you can pick up on your habits and you can pick up when something's not right, it's way easier to get yourself back on track than if you're fighting now. Don't fight now, right? Because now I can plan my days. Now I feel I'm enjoying motherhood because I did the hard stuff.
Yeah.
I did that early.
I'm so happy that we're talking about this. I actually just had a conversation with my mom yesterday, and she was saying one of the biggest regrets that she has is that she wasn't able to start healing until her later point in life.
Right.
She was still dealing with stuff from her own parents and her own trauma as a child, and she's just uncovering it now. And the sad thing is back in the day, people weren't talking about mental health and like talking about how you feel. That's why conversations like this is so important, because people just mask things and act like you're fine.
Yeah, so don't do that. Because there'll be plenty of days you feel alone, plenty of days you don't feel like you're in control.
Yeah.
Plenty of days you're making shit up in your head. Or maybe it really is freaking true. Plenty of days your partner's there or not there. Or if you're a single mom that you just feel like you're not doing good enough. That stuff doesn't stop. It's if you know yourself well enough on how to deal with it and keep what's important ahead of you, and when to reprioritize and when to shift.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you have anything that you want to add to that?
Well, yeah, I guess piggyback off your comment about or your question about how do you juggle it all. You just figure it out. To be honest, you just figure it out. So like, I love to cook, but for a long time I wasn't cooking, baby. We was going to Cheddar's.
DoorDash, I pay for that.
Yeah, we were going there to eat, and then also trying to figure out like how to like for a long time I felt like me and Jackson when it was just us, it was becoming redundant. Like I get up 5 o'clock in the morning, get him ready, do the bottles, drop him off at school. Then I go to work, be at work, get off, pick him up, sit in traffic for 8 hours, give him a bath.
Not 8 hours, girl.
It felt like 8 hours. Hell, coming from the city to Katy. Give him a bath, give me a bath, feed him.
Very routine.
Like very routine to the point where I was like, damn, like, is this all it's gonna be? And I had to figure out how to like escape or break that pattern. But for a long time, it was starting to get very overwhelming and very alone. So I just started like, well, we're gonna go to the park and we're gonna play and we're gonna do different things instead of it just being the same redundant thing and then get up and do it all over again the next day. So I started just kind of like figuring out like, okay, I can't cook every day, but we're going to go to Cheddar's and have our meals together and let them clean up the mess that you make. Yeah. Shout out to Cheddar's on Katy.
And especially
right, exactly. So you just kind of figure out what works, and then the older he got, the more active he became. Yeah. I moved closer to where my mama is now, and she's able to get him and stuff, so I can kind of pour into me. But it does become very redundant when they are at a that baby stage, 6 months, 12 months, 1-year-old stage. But eventually they say it get easier. It's just it just transcends or kind of alters.
It's like phases.
Yeah. It's phases. Now, it still has some hard things that you go through, triggers, as she was discussing. I do believe, you do gotta somewhat be healed or be self-aware. Yeah. A lot of times people want to have kids. Oh, it's cute. I got a baby. It's on Instagram. That baby gonna trigger you. Right. You're going to think about, oh, my mama did this, my daddy did this to me, and I dealt with this, and I dealt with that. It's going to come about. Your childhood is going to come up, and you're going to look and be like, okay, for me, I would say, how can I not repeat these patterns or this generational thing that was happening to me? How can I do better and be a mom and be able to pour into my child or not be so quick to hit? Or not be so quick to, we talk about this general parenting thing. So, you're trying to find a balance with that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want so quick to hit your child or keep repeating those same things that you experience. But at the same time, don't play with me. I am your mama, but I'm your mama. Would talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Right. So, you got to tap. You got to tap in. And I feel like being a mom, for some, not all, it does kind of change your perspective, especially if you know the things that you dealt with as a child. You don't want to keep repeating those same things over and over again. That part. I start reading books about...
I've been skimming them.
I start reading books about raising, especially boys. I'm a boy mom, so especially boys. I start reading books about that. I start listening to podcasts or doing research or trying to figure out the best way of how I can raise him. Yeah.
Okay, girl, even what you were just mentioning about being a boy mom, just to stay there, we black. Okay.
Yes.
So how is it raising a black son in today's world?
Difficult. Difficult. You think about, Jackson is still young. He's still 2. He'll be 3. But you think about the adultification of how they see black children. The same energy that y'all give y'all black girls in regards to protecting them and don't do this and don't wear this and I'm going to be the same way when it comes to my son. I don't let my child go to everybody's house.
Yeah.
I don't let my child go to everybody's house. If I feel any type of intuition or something that's not going on, a discernment where I don't feel comfortable, my baby not going over there. Like, I'm really tapped in when it comes to protecting my child, my son. Yeah. And I also feel like a lot of things they say, oh, it's okay for a boy to do, but not a girl. No. It's the same thing. It should be the same level of protection of the cross. I think about when people they see my son's skin color before they know him as a child. I think about it when he go out to the world, like, is my baby gonna be okay?
Yeah, straight, yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that. And I appreciate you being open there. And I know we've had conversations, even like from a workplace standpoint, and like certain biases that are out there. But even if we think about people stereotyping women because of our hair, or just the silliest things. But if you think about it from a man's standpoint, look at Trayvon Martin, right? And the things that happened to him years ago, just based on the color of his skin and people making assumptions on who he is before he even opened his mouth, before he even took the steps out there to even like communicate who he is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like as a mom, and my mom always communicates this, the fears that you just naturally have because it's scary. It's like, is your child going to come home, or is there going to be some messes happen to them because of the color of his skin?
And then the constant battle of like, I don't want my child to be, I don't want to say soft, but I don't want you to just be like bowing down to just somebody because they a different color than you.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to know that you're a black man, you're a great man, you're a king. But at the same time, I want you to make it home. I want you to try to learn these, keep your head on a swivel, but at the same time be cordial. But it's like, if you cordial and nice, they still might take you the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many different things.
Yeah, nuances.
To levels to it, or trying to raise and be and everything to this one person, but it's hard. You can't. Yeah.
No, that's well said. I think you hit the nail on the head. I this is where like my like protector plus enabling, or like my protecting, like giving you the tools, like comes in play for me. Where do I want to start? I think it's because I work very hard to give my kids the tools on like safety, how to communicate, how to love themselves. I think the two biggest things that I want to give my kids that can hopefully help them navigate life and the challenges is curiosity. I think curiosity is such an underdeveloped skill.
That's good.
I really do. And by that, I mean the ability to ask questions and be present and slow down and understand and think, like process. Because most of the time in life, emotion takes over, the angst takes over, the adrenaline takes over. And I think if you're somebody that could think and process and be aware, you can understand how you feel, but how you react to things, I think, is such a big thing in society. And so if I can teach my kids, hopefully, how to be curious and be aware and be present, that could serve them well in life. And then the second thing, I think, is to be challengers and to challenge themselves and to challenge what they're around. So that way they can pick up on gaps, and disparities and mistreatment. And when somebody's not being true to them, or they're in a situation they shouldn't be in, can they challenge themselves or that thing or that experience to be able to navigate it? I think curiosity and being able to challenge goes hand in hand, and especially in your career.
Yeah.
And then there's the reality that you can't protect them from everything.
Yeah.
Like, you literally cannot. And so I just try to stay very awake with my kids. Like, for example, the Summer Olympics was what, 2025 at this point, 2024, whatever.
Girl,
the last Summer Olympics. The gymnast session was on, the gymnastics, the men's gymnastics. And I could tell how in tune my son was with the gymnastics. And, oh God, I wish I remember his name. Young black kid was killing it during the Summer Olympics. Young man. I can't remember his name, but I think he was doing maybe his floor routine or the beam or something. And my son was like imitating what he was doing. And then at one point he said, "Oh, look, his hair looks like mine." And I was like, okay, be present and teach him that you can do anything you want to do. Like, he looks like you, just like that access piece, and that reality piece, and that self-love piece. And so I don't know, it's a journey. It's really hard. The level of fear I have of them going into the world is through the roof. It is, because in my head, send me to let me find out something happened to my kids. Y'all already know how I get down.
Well, you already know how you roll, Anissa.
I will be there, and I'm a very curious person. We can ask the questions, and I want to understand, but not my kids. But I can't be there every step of the way. And so I think the best thing I could do for my kids who are growing up as young black men is to give them the tools to navigate life themselves, pray over them, be very close to God, and have faith that they're meant to live a fulfilling and fruitful life. And it's not going to be easy. The biggest thing for me is safety. I want my kids to be able to come to me no matter what.
Yes.
If there's a consequence that needs to come with it, we'll talk about that later. But you better come to me no matter what. A lot of young black men get sexually assaulted all the time.
Yes. And they never talk about it.
A lot. They never talk about it because we beat young men down about, you got to be strong. Don't cry. Right. No. I apologize to my kids all the time. Yes. I'm not some type of like goddess to them. I can do wrong. And every day that I pick up my sons from daycare, I say, what was the most fun thing about your day? What did you love about your day? And what do you wish would have went different? And then I always follow up with, was anybody mean to you? Why do you feel that way? And how did your teachers treat you today? Because I want them to be able to start to communicate with me and it feel normal. And I will always believe my kids. Always. And I'd rather look stupid believing them than not. Because what they're going to face is very different than what other people are going to face. And they can be soft in my home all they want. But this is your safety. This is your safeness.
Girl, that's so powerful because in today's world, you know, people make fun of you. You're quote unquote soft. Please. But it's like, I don't care if you're a woman or a man, you should be able to express yourself and you should be able to communicate. So the fact that y'all are instilling that in y'all sons, like at such an early age, think about how they're going to treat these little girls out here. Oh,
right, that part. Yeah,
but in general, no. Even you're like down the road, but even when it comes to safety, though, and emotional awareness, that's just so important. So I commend y'all.
Yeah.
I just have one thing that I actually want y'all to do, as we had this little segment, as y'all were talking about y'all sons. I want you to look in the camera for a moment, okay? Because your sons are young. And, you know, I'm sure they might see this, but as they get older and as they watch it down the years, I want to have a special moment for y'all just pouring into your sons, right? What they're capable of, who you see them to be, what you think they're going to grow up and accomplish. So I want you to just take a moment, just look in the camera as if you're speaking to your children.
Go ahead, Anissa.
Why? Because you tearing up. I used to say these two things when I used to run trainings, and I actually got them from my father. Mind you, I'm very close to my dad. Like, you can't tell me nothing about my dad. My dad has faults, but like, my dad's the man, like in my eyes, for sure. And I just remember growing up, I was an athlete, soccer, basketball. Don't look me up. I played back in the day when stats aren't out there like that, but I was an animal for sure. But there was always two things that he would say to me. One was, be a leader, not a follower. And the second thing was, never miss your free throws. They're free. And I want to pass those things down to my kid, because I remember being in college and I called somebody asked me what my dad meant by that. And I said, you know what? I never really asked him. And I remember calling my dad one day and asking him every day he said that to me, why are you saying that to me? And the message behind the be a leader was of not a follower was very simple, that do the hard thing even when nobody's looking. Right? Work on yourself even when nobody's looking. Don't not touch the line in a suicide because nobody's looking, think you can get away with it. Right? You have to have such a high level of self-respect for yourself that you do what's hard, right? No matter what, even when nobody's looking. And I think to my boys, if you do that, there's nothing that you can't overcome, because life is about you putting in the work to live a life of joy and fulfillment and happiness. So you do what you need to do even when nobody's looking. That's number one. The two is, never miss the free throws. They're free. And what he meant by that is, to my kids are very passionate and very self-aware, and I see that in y'all. And Levi literally goes to bed with his baseball glove, and he wakes up with his baseball glove, and he got his bat, and he's already an hour early for his game. And Braxton is very determined, and they're already putting the hard work in. They don't know it yet. And as long as you remember all the reps that you put in, when it comes time to deliver, you ain't gonna miss, because you already knew what you did. And so I think that's what builds your confidence and your stability is, I've already been trying at this. I've already been doing this. And so I say all that to say, if you put those two things together, all I want my kids to do, boys, is live whatever life they want to live, and feel happy and feel proud, whatever that means to y'all as my kids. Everything else just doesn't matter to me. Just be happy.
Wow.
That'll be my message.
Oh, girl. Well, thank you for sharing. I felt that.
Yeah.
Miss Jessica. To baby Jax.
To baby Jax. It's something I do with Jackson every day. I make sure I instill words of affirmations in him. You are kind, you are loved, you are special, you are handsome. I think a lot of times you know, they say men don't or their confidence is not there or whatever, but as a human, I want him to just be a good person. Not just because you're a man or not because you Jessica, you know, son, or I'm your mama, but I want you to be a good person, a person of integrity, and also hustle. Like your mama from New Orleans, baby. Like, you know, I poured that into him because I felt like I have defeated the odds or gone against like the statistics. You know what I'm saying? Like coming from New Orleans and going through Hurricane Katrina and going to high school and graduating and continue on to college and getting my degree and being a business owner, a homeowner. Like I want all of those things for him, but the most I want you to be a good person and love yourself, son. Like I think that's the biggest thing, and also doing the work. You know, I want you to be the best person, the best version of yourself. Not just for mommy, not for daddy, but for you.
For yourself.
For yourself. And I think that's the most important thing. And then also things might seem tough. You know, things gonna get hard, but as long as you keep pushing, it's nothing that you can that you can't achieve. Son. It's nothing you can't do. It's nothing that if you don't set your mind to it, son, you can do any and everything that you want to do, baby. Anything. And you are like everything to me. Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, not you making me tear up over here. I was very surprised. I'm like, oh, I knew it was coming at some point. Gosh, no, that, you know, that just really means a lot to me too, because they'll always be able to look back at this and remember these words directly from their mothers. So it's really impactful. And one thing that I'm really big on is y'all know I'm always like very optimistic and I always love encouraging other people. So I got y'all some flowers because I think it's, y'all probably thought it was decor.
I thought it was
You know, it's a little something intentional.
Cute.
But no, I think it's always important to give women their flowers and just to know y'all both personally and some of the things that you both have overcome and like how you continue to show up in this world and just be a bright light. Like I just really respect it and I respect y'all. And for y'all to even do this episode with me, like what they don't know, I don't know if y'all remember, but we had a Christmas party in 2024 and I was telling y'all, I was like, I want to start a podcast.
Yes.
And here we are. So for y'all to be closing season 2 with me, talking about something like this, like I just respect it. And I just thank y'all so much.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Y'all are
Thank
amazing.
you for having us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to this episode. Like I said, I just can't believe that season 2 is coming to an end. I really hope that this season touched you some way, somehow. I know I mentioned that the theme overall was about healing, growing, evolving, and just specifically today, as we talked about radiant mothers, for anyone listening in general, just know that you're capable of anything that you set your mind to, that you can do it and just keep pushing through wherever hits you in life. So that's it. Until next time for season 3. See you later. Bye.
Bye.